Looking to make NFL history are Jacksonville Jaguars and Coach Madison Boston hit the field for the final time, looking to run the playoffs and be the first team ever to three-peat the Super Bowl. And it starts in the divisional round where we host the New England Patriots down in Duval. Now, to be honest, the Patriots have improved quite a bit throughout this series, coming in with the 6th ranked offense in points per game, 3rd in rushing. The defense also looking vastly improved, 3rd in points allowed and 3rd in rushing yards given up. But we're coming in here with a dominant run game, 2nd best in the league, averaging over 100 yards a game. And on top of that, we look to get Sammy Perkins a little bit more mixed in as a secret weapon. ETN has been great this year. We've got another guy. And honestly, if they find a way to slow down those two, well, Jeff Polk has been a scrambling machine this year. 11 rushing touchdowns, 1 fumble. Mixing that in with his 21 passing, he's had a great year, just a different year than in the past 2 Super Bowl years. When it comes to this Patriots game, we're going to rely on the defensive line to help lead the way. We've got phenomenal pass rushers, so we want to make sure we also take away that run game and leave the Patriots with nothing to do. But we did suffer one big injury this week. Quinn Miners in practice, ACL sprain. So that means Rashawn Hartwell will be moving down to center, a position he played in college. And stepping in at guard will be Danny Carmichael. A decent blend, but definitely favoring that run blocking with good lead, good impact. And hopefully we'll see this young guy shine in his first playoff game. But I think it's time we get our final playoff hunt underway here in Duval. Cam Little has us underway for the final time on what is not looking to be a great return here for the Patriots. They will be starting a little bit shy of where you would have even if you just called a fair catch. Now, May has had a career year. We're hoping that this defense with a stout 3 levels is prepared as Devin Lloyd with a big hit here, play 1. And it's not even the man who took the hit there who's actually shaken up. One of the receivers for the Patriots heads to the sideline. It was Bennett there getting upended. Gain of 2, setting up a 2nd and 8. Throw across the middle is broken up. Hall in coverage. 2 plays, they go to their running back. That time, running back 2 out of the backfield with the split look leaves 3rd and 8. Empty set here for May, who looks and finds his target across the middle. That was a great throw and a clutch throw from Drake May finding Alston. It was, for the most part, pretty good coverage there for Jacksonville. Needed a great throw, and that the Patriots got. For the 1st and 10, they go run weak side, and a good tackle there. Yancey might have been the last line of defense. But Bennett, he gets brought down with a gain of 7. Leaving a 2nd and 3 with a bunch look to the right-hand side here. Quick blitz, shaking the tackle and still on his feet. Finding the 1st down and a whole lot more goes Bennett. Not sure where the tackling went there from Jacksonville. They had several opportunities to stuff that play in the backfield, let alone give up a massive 1st down. Pass downfield, here's a one-hand grab. That's DeMario Douglas showing off a little bit of some hands. Now, we still have yet to see their star receiver return. That is Wood, who was out early this game, but they don't need him. Patriots drive down the field behind some big plays through the air from Drake May. And it's the former Jacksonville Jaguar in Christian Kirk with the touchdown, not a member of the Jaguars during their previous 2 Super Bowl wins. Very much that was a statement drive from the Patriots. Jacksonville will look to answer. They already answered back to almost there on the special teams, starting at the 41. It's ETN. as he looks to go left-hand side and gets sandwiched for a short gain of 2. Now, it will be interesting to see how much the run game does act different with the interior line different here. Obviously, Hartwell having to move positions. Carmichael, I believe his first start. The running behind the pair of them gets a solid gain and sets up a 3rd and short. Bunch to the left-hand side, Thomas to the right. Polk with that hard count will get a free play here for Jacksonville, but he finds Addison with a good block downfield. It's Poole. He scampers out, taking some extra hits at the 25. You can decline that penalty. Well, that hard count really has been key for this Jacksonville team this year. Polk has been phenomenal with it, playing a 99 overall here. Now, a whole lot of movement. Carmichael does move, and he does actually appear to be the culprit on this play. So we get the free first down, didn't need it. We then back up with a 1st and 15. Sticking with the same look, though, flipping it here. And under pressure, looking for Addison. That ball falls incomplete. Didn't look like the pressure arrived from that right side interior. Still leaving 13 at about the 30-yard line. The shotgun look here, and Etienne looks to get outside, but pursuit is fantastic. Johns brings him down with a loss of 1. Etienne does look to be a little bit shaken up there, but he does manage to pop up. For the 3rd and 16, he stays out there. Trips look to the right-hand side. Hard count this time, jumping late. Rolling to the outside, throwing downfield is Colbert. Bumped out at the 2, maybe the 3, but another penalty you can decline. He set up the switch concept on the outside, and he was left wide open. Polk, though, making a change down here at the goal line. And he'll look to step up here. He avoids the rush, and he will rush in for a touchdown. Duval answers here in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We have a tie game, 7 apiece, as it is the 12th rushing touchdown on the season for Jeff Polk. But as we look to jump forward from there, we are now a couple minutes into the second quarter and following a turnover for the Patriots offense. It's Jaguar ball inside the 15. Now Polk doesn't like the initial setup. Clock is running down here as they finally do get set. Pump fakes across the middle. Looks to bail to the outside. He's under pressure. Flips that ball back to Travis Etienne. And they've got about a loss of 1. Slightly better. And I'm sure Coach Boston will have a word or two there for Polk. I don't know if this is the time and place to be breaking out a play like that. But negates majority of the loss. But under pressure again, can't find Addison. Vita Vea with a hit in there on Polk. Despite the great starting position here, it's Cam Little trotting out to give the Jacksonville Jaguars a 3-point lead. With the pressure now on the side of the Patriots trailing, they're putting together their best drive since that first drive. In plus side, looking downfield and caught. Woods returns to the game. He gets his first catch that at least we have seen, but Musgrave shaken up on the play. He will head to the sideline. With the 1st and 10 at the 22, looking for that cutback lane, but can't slip by Hall and company. Just a gain of 1. Bennett has shown some good shiftiness, ability to stay on his feet through contact. Just wasn't able to completely fight through there, and that's a massive hit in on Drake May. It's recovered by one of the offensive linemen, but it was Walker with a clear shot at the quarterback from the snap. May's got to feel pretty lucky he's able to get up after that. And a heads-up play, getting off the block and picking that one up. Patriots are still inside field goal range, so they still have a chance here to try to tie this game up before the 2-minute break. As May is well under pressure here and drifts way back. 3rd sack on the day for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2nd from Walker, and there goes field goal range. Now, they weren't able to get anything done with just over 2 minutes to go. Now they've only got 40 seconds, but still have those 3 timeouts. As they start with a tight shotgun look here. Throwing across, that's going to be a first down to Addison. Timeout called there. Now, if they want to play this super smart, you want to play perhaps a little bit closer to the sideline to save some of those timeouts and try to get at least a field goal here before half. As they throw outside, it's pulled about a gain of 8, only costing you 5 seconds. However, you're only to the 40. You're probably going to need the opposite 40 for a field goal shot. Tight look here under center goes Polk with a hard count. This will be a free play. Throwing short. Tipped away Gonzalez. In a situation like this time you do take that penalty. Get yourself a fresh set of downs with 26 to go. You're at about the 45. To the left-hand side for Polk as they bring the blitz. Thrown across the middle and broken up for Thomas. Good play by the safety. That is McKinley making the play. 22 seconds now here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A heavy box here for the Patriots defense. Thomas with a hard break outside is floated too far by Polk. 17 to go. You got 3rd and 10. Good news is still 2 timeouts in that back pocket. ETN on the left side of Polk here. Colbert in the game on the left with Sexton. As they'll look to go to the air here. Lofting this one. Finding Sexton with a hard cut. He looks to line up perhaps a field goal shot here at the 41. Now you do have a couple options here with that 1 timeout. You try to run the ball, get a little bit closer. Or in 10 seconds you take a shot to the end zone. Well, it's play action. And he throws that one straight to the corner, taking the hit. It looked like he was looking for Addison deep downfield. But when he went to release that ball, he took a hit. And it just looked magnetized straight to the defender. And at the opposite 42, the Patriots will trot out Sanders. A long field goal attempt here. Near 60 yards, and he had the power, but he pulls it to the left. An action-packed end to the first half that results in 0 points for either side. But with no update on the other games here in the playoffs, we jump into the second half with a 4th and 1. At our own 40, Jacksonville keeps the offense out there. Hard count, and they will get it. Play clock running down. Polk using that to his advantage. Dante Barnett, who's had a couple big hits in on Polk, gives them the free first down. The 1st and 10 of the 44. Keep that same look. Offense on the field here, throwing for the first down. Addison taking a couple hits. Unable to find him there to close out the first half, but finding him here to help kickstart the second half. Polk flips the play with a single high safety. Hard count, no one jumps this time. As he looks to bail to the outside. Downfield, he's got Thomas diving, but he couldn't reel it in. Just about a step or two too far. That's when you know Polk wants back. 2nd and 10. It's going to be ETN getting shifty down the middle. He breaks one, picking up 8. However, that does still leave 2 more needed on 3rd down here for Jacksonville. Split backfield. And it's going to be a keeper from Polk, who lowers the shoulder and runs through his own starting left tackle in Starks. We've talked about how this year, at least on the ground, Polk is on a whole other level. And we like that here come the playoffs, though we could use with a little bit more passing success and not taking a massive sack. New England finds their 3rd, and it is Barnett. Plays like that, you just got to learn. Throw that ball away. I think Polk was about there, but he just didn't have time for it. 2nd and 27. Make that 2nd and 22. Still not good, but it is better. As they keep with that tight shotgun look here, single high safety. And throwing a lofted pass here, dropping it in the bucket for Sexton, making this at least a manageable 3rd down in comparison. I think any team would take a 3rd and 8 rather than a 3rd and 20 plus. Sexton right-hand side here, pistol look for Polk. Off coverage and a free play yet again. Finding Addison down inside the 10. Another easy call there from Coach Boston to decline. With goal to go, Polk has a change himself. Throwing almost another pick, Gonzalez with the inside protection. Polk thought he had something there with the safety walking down. Good teamwork to help take that away. It's 2nd and goal. And a draw here, Travis Etienne pushing through 3 defenders. He widens the Jaguar lead, giving them a 10-point lead here, divisional round of the NFL playoffs. But as we jump forward a couple minutes into the 4th quarter, we're going to look to keep that momentum here and drain some clock while we're at it. Etienne cuts left for 3. Only 11 rushes for him, 30 yards. Most definitely has not been his most productive day on the ground. Patriots knew what they were facing coming into this one, and a good tackle from Wells. Etienne, he is a shifty back, but not able to get away. Perkins checks in with a 3rd and 10. Hard count, make that 3rd and 5. He's just too good. In fact, I know of a quarterback in Kent, Ohio, who could learn a thing or two from Jeff Polk. But a 3rd and 5, they keep the same look. Perkins still the back as they look to set up a screen to the power back. Big blocks downfield. Perkins lowers that shoulder, and he's down inside the 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10 at the 16. Now that's a play they've tried to Levy Brown. He really just hasn't gotten it going this year. Now they opt for the power back. A little pump fake. Shot downfield and broken up. Thomas nearly finding a way to bring that down. I do like the play there from Polk with that pump, try to draw in the corner and then find the actual corner of the end zone. Falls incomplete here. Perkins goes outside. Clean tackle, I believe. That might be Lewis Seen. However, there is a penalty that will just push back the Jaguars. And get Luke Bacon, right tackle, with the hold. It's 2nd and 19 now, back around the 25-yard line. And they bring the blitz, rolling to the outside and throwing. Finding Addison. Sticky fingers. If this was Major League Baseball, they might be checking him for some sort of sticky substance. But how he was able to get a grasp on that one. Out here for Colbert and wide receiver 3 with perhaps the stamper on this one. Don't want to call a game too early, but you're now looking at a 3-score lead here. Jacksonville in Duval, currently on top. The New England Patriots. If there's ever going to be a down that your season relies on, this could be it. A 3rd and 10 here for Drake May. Now obviously 4-down territory, but they're not going to need it. He hooks up with his tight end on the drag. Bellinger with a much-needed play. Keeps their hopes alive here, though they need to find the end zone as quick as possible. Drake May, he throws outside. Looking for the cutback. Instead, Alston just keeps outside. And he's got plenty of space. The 1st and 10. Dig route finds Woods. Off coverage there from Jerry and Jones. Drake May and the Patriots right now, they are cooking. With a quick flip to the outside, Kirk is brought down by Hall, nearly beating the man coverage switch. But a 2-minute warning will hit at a clutch time here for the defense, who needed to catch their breath. Down inside the 5, May scrambles. He looks to get outside, has the edge, and finds the touchdown here for the Patriots. Their first points since the first drive for them this game. A lot of celebrating, though, for a team still down 2 scores. That means this game really comes on down to a onside. Justin Reed sends it straight to the rookie in Day Carvalho. With 3 timeouts in the New England Patriot back pocket, 1st down seals it. We all know this has been one of the best running teams in the NFL this year. That's what you look for with a 1st and 10. Culver going to motion into the backfield, make it an I form, tossing it to the outside. Etienne with the spin, cannot break by Johns. Back to the line. First timeout as well comes in here from the New England Patriots. 2nd and 10 for Jacksonville at the 40. Poole with a little short motion. They set up the wham block. ETN to the left to Vi with a quick tackle. It's 3rd and 7. 1 timeout to spare. For the Patriots, they need this stop. Split backfield. Polk, ETN, and Perkins. They hand it off to ETN to Vi with another quick tackle and no more timeouts. Jacksonville, though, will look to make this a little bit harder for them. Looking for that field goal. Cam Little sneaks it in the left upright, keeping it true enough. A 13-point lead. So for Drake May and the Patriots offense, they've got to find that end zone as quickly as they can. But no free stoppage of time either. They go quick outside. It's Kirk. Lloyd drags him down inbounds. They'll have to go hurry up from here on out if they do not get out of bounds. Pressure building, pass on the money. And does get out of bounds at about the midfield line. I do have to give props to May. While only 2 touchdowns for the New England offense, he's played clean under pressure, and there's been plenty of pressure. Throwing outside again, he finds his target. Too soft to coverage. Wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more aggressive coverage out there, perhaps attacking that ball, at least keeping the coverage tight. As it's a check down here, punched out by Yancey. May has quickly gotten them down here to the 35 with a spread empty look here. A minute left in this game. And he throws across the middle, broken up with a diving play. It is Hall. We need everyone to come up clutch here and end this drive of the Patriots and send ourselves on to the AFC Conference Championship. May throws this one away. And we are down to what could be the final play of the game. 4th and 10. Jaguars bring a little bit of extra blitz. Punched out by the shoulder of Devin Lloyd to send us to the AFC Championship. A devastating hit there from the captain of the defense. And it brings out Polk to kneel this game away. But just a phenomenal performance from that defense, and Devin Lloyd with the nail in the coffin there for Drake May and the New England Patriots. They had a couple really good drives, but they just couldn't stay consistent throughout. Meanwhile, their defense played very consistent. The run game that has led this team really didn't have as big of an impact. ETN sub 50 yards on the ground today. They got a lot of pressure on Polk, and with that, he missed some key passes. Still finding enough, though, to hit 27 points and to win this game, keeping our hopes at being the first NFL team to three-peat that Super Bowl alive. But with a chance at the Super Bowl on the line, we meet a fellow AFC powerhouse in the Baltimore Ravens, who got here through a division rival, as well as taking out the 2-seed Kansas City Chiefs. They're also a team we're pretty familiar with. Week 14, we beat them 28-23. And that was with Jeff Polk having one of his worst passing games this season. 2 turnovers, sub 60% complete. Meanwhile, Jackson had 2 passing touchdowns, 73% complete. But it was the running game that saw us through. ETN averaging near 8 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Polk even had a rushing touchdown. But arguably the biggest asset for us was the fact that Lamar Jackson did not even have positive yards on the ground. We need that again here today. So as we hit the field yet again in Everbank Stadium, our final game at home, we host AFC opponent Baltimore Ravens for the AFC Championship and a chance still to three-peat that Super Bowl, to be the first team ever to do so. So as we get set to see these two teams play for the final time this series, Jaguars out to return. as your AFC Championship is underway with Thomas looking to cut this one back to the left-hand side, and we'll have a fantastic return here, setting up the Jaguar offense to take the field. Starting at the 37-yard line, it'll be Polk in the I form. Poole playing a little bit of fullback here today as Madison Turner out with injury. Plenty of blockers, but they didn't get to the second level. Instead, Wiggins there to secure the tackle at the line of scrimmage. No gain at 2nd and 10. The Ravens are stacking the box. Etienne will find a small gap, picking up a couple. But that does leave Jacksonville needing 8 on 3rd down. The pass rush last time for the Ravens was key. A lot of early movement here. Starks definitely moved, but he was not the man to move first. Instead, it's the Ravens' Xavius Ratliff, making this a much more manageable 3rd down here, now just needing 3. Polk again tries that hard count. He gets another man to jump. As he loads up, that one falls into the turf, but this will be a free 1st down nonetheless. I do think that's a pretty good example of how quick this pass rush is going to hit today. They've got to work around it. As Etienne tries to work around the quick pressure down the middle, losing one, Matabuke gets there. Coach Boston going to have to figure out a way to open up this run game here. That is what saw them through last time. Looking to go to the air here. Throwing left-hand side, it's to Sexton, holding on for a gain of 6. And that leaves the Jaguars with yet another 3rd and medium here. They come out bunch right-hand side at the 45. Polk dropping back. Gets this one to the outside. That's Etienne with blockers. Addison with 1, but not enough space for Etienne to tightrope the sideline out at the 33. Give credit to Polk there as well, hanging on till the last moment. Took a good hit there as he released it. They look to go back to the air. That one's into a helmet, plus penalty down. Looked like he was trying to find Sexton open across the middle, but it's holding here on the Jaguar. They get Rayshawn Hartwell right guard with Quinn Miners back healthy in this one. Offensive line back to how it should be with a short dump off, finding a gain of 3. Hamilton with tight coverage there on Maxwell. Sexton leaves 2nd and 17 just inside the 40. They'll look to go back to the air. Rolling, throwing, short for Addison. So a 3rd and long then it will be. Trips look to the right-hand side. Hard count this time, no one offers. Throwing downfield, Thomas well overthrown. So as well Groves, the cornerback for the Ravens. So a decent drive that stalls out due to penalties and a long field goal attempt here left hash that will make it through the left side of those uprights. Cam Little puts the Jaguars on the board, drive 1 with a field goal. But now it will be Baltimore's turn to see what they can do. Lamar Jackson, a solid season, not really any high stats, but a threat nonetheless. As he finds his tight end quick, Campbell working him out of bounds, gain of 4. And when it comes to Jackson, he's going to be quick with his decisions out there. And with that, he'll look to take away any sort of blitzes brought by the Jaguars as Davis finds some space, a 1st down run. And against the double-A gap look there from the defense, a smart call. Long as you get a hat on everyone. 1st and 10 at the 43. With motion working its way from right over to left. Play action and pressure. Rakeem Griffey pops that ball free. It's Walker with the scoop. 10-5, touchdown Jaguar. They get an early turnover in this one and claim a 10-0 lead on the Baltimore Ravens. The edge rushers combine for the play. Rakeem Griffey nearly clean off the edge, punches that ball out from behind Jackson, and Walker just happens to be at the right place at the right time. As we jump forward from there, nothing through the whole first half for Baltimore. We are in the early parts of the 2nd quarter. And we've got ball. Etienne shimmying around for a short gain. 5 rushes, 9 yards for him. Baltimore coming into this game with the same game plan we really saw last week as well. Stop the run. The 2nd and 8. They try to go back to it. Etienne gets outside for another short one, about 3. However, that still leaves you needing 5 more on 3rd down. And the Ravens look to stack the box. With a weak eye, Polk hard count, a little bit of some movement, though no one fully jumps. Finds Thomas across the middle on the quick slant to convert. And for Polk, he's only at 56 passing yards today, so really the offense not getting a whole lot done. But thanks to that turnover, scoop and score, find themselves up here. Looking for Addison, and it's off the top of his hands. Good pass breakup there, Groves. This Baltimore defense well built. You could see all the stars and X factors they have, especially across the middle. And a dominant hit on the outside, jarring that one free of Sexton. Of anyone out there on the field in a Jaguar uniform, he's probably the one you want to have take those big hits the least. Very difficult early couple seasons with injury, but Thomas on the outside will convert. Wiggins too late to get the pass breakup, and Jaguars go hurry up off of it. Looking to get Etienne to the outside. Good speed to track, but Etienne even better as he fights through 2 defenders to make this a 17-point lead in the second quarter of your AFC Championship game. And we just got our second turnover of the game. Tyson Campbell in the 2-minute drill gives us the ball at the 26. We knew we had to get after Jackson, and forcing 2 turnovers on him has us well in charge in this one. Ball ricochets off the pass, luckily hitting the turf. Very rarely has Polk struggled to get a pass by the offensive line and defensive line, even at that. The 2nd and 10, they tried that hard count, and there's definite movement, but with the motion, not going to be a free play. Thomas open on the stop route across the middle. He holds on for a gain of 8, leaving 3rd and 2. Frankly, this is a play the Jaguars really could use to take a stranglehold on this game. Ravens really need to force a stop here. But it's Perkins with space down the middle. Big DT tracking back, saving the touchdown as Coach Boston calls that timeout. That leaves Jacksonville with a 1st and goal at the 6. Keeping with the I form and dropping back to pass. Getting this one out, but not able to get enough on it. That one falls incomplete. Looked like they were trying to set up a screen pass there to Perkins, but instead it's 2nd and goal with 23 seconds to spare. Hard count from Polk. No one offers. He rolls. He throws. And it's off the fingertips of Colbert. 2 receivers in the area. I think either one could have gotten that one. I guess we'll keep the fans on their toes here. 3rd and goal instead. At the 6. Split back with Poole as they look to set up a throw inside. Diving this time, we will hold on. The Harlem Globetrotter of touchdowns, as it is Thomas on the zig. And that gives us a 24-point lead as we head through half. What was supposed to be a battle of 2 top AFC teams has turned completely one-sided. Baltimore with no halftime adjustments, still not able to move that ball downfield. And looking downfield, it's Addison. Good coverage from Hamilton. Perhaps just a smidgen further downfield, and that one drops in. 2nd and 10 at the 34 as it's Etienne, and they never got the double to the backer, plus a flag comes in. This one will back up the Jaguars. The most surprising part of that is they actually called that on Starks, who was one of the guys struggling to get to that double to the backer. I don't know where he held, but apparently he did. As Polk goes to scramble here, not going to get the juke move on Roquan Smith. He picks up about 5. Though do have to appreciate the effort from QB1. It's 3rd and 12. You're at the 37. It looks like Polk doesn't like the initial look here. He's going to change things. 2 plus the tight end to the right. 1 to the left on a free play. As you're looking for a back shoulder here that sails out of bounds. Thomas in the area. Good news is Ratliff doesn't know how to hold his water as his 2nd penalty on the day. It's 3rd and now 7 here for Polk. As the screen kind of gets all kerbobbled, but somehow he does still find Etienne. Working the blocks, he busts it to the outside. Defenders coming in, he scoots out of bounds, taking very much a late hit. Oh, how rough the initial play setup was there. I don't think that is anything to argue with. Another goal to go at the 5. It's Perkins checking in as he goes down the middle, just short of the goal line. Roquan Smith takes him down, mere inches to go, especially as Miner scoots that ball forward. They keep with the same look. It's Perkins, this time an inch or two inside that goal line, and an emphatic lead here for the Jaguars as they look to be Super Bowl bound. But do give credit to Baltimore. They have not quit yet as we go top of the 4th quarter. They are down inside the red zone. Looking to air this one out into the outside. Ball popped free and scooped up. It's Jacksonville. They will keep the goose egg. We'll have to take a second look on who forced that fumble. It might have been Terrence Yancey putting his shoulder right on that ball. We'll take another look here. And indeed, that is the case. The safety comes down, putting the big hit on Davis. Campbell scoops it up before it heads out of bounds. And all we have to do from here is kneel ourselves to the Super Bowl with that play clock down inside 5. Jeff Polk takes our final snap of AFC play as we goose egg the Baltimore Ravens. 31-0 defense came to play. And the offense, while it struggled to run the ball there in the first half, it did come alive in the second half, helping milk some of that clock. But forcing 3 turnovers on the Baltimore Ravens offense really is the key difference in this one. They were not able to keep their most promising drives alive with those turnovers. Ultimately, they were not able to find a single point on that board, while the offense put up most of the 31. Defense with that scoop and score put up 7 themselves, which would have been enough to see us to that Super Bowl. And that Super Bowl would be a battle of ones. Minnesota Vikings and Jacksonville Jaguars. Now for us, this is yet another game that we are familiar with. Playing against the Vikings week 15 in an overtime win through a strong 4th quarter comeback. But as we head into our final game, we will be missing our top receiver and former Viking Jordan Addison, who strained his back, and apparently that is enough to keep him out. In return, the Vikings will be missing their starting running back, Keaton Mitchell, with a groin tear. That seems far more likely to keep you out of a Super Bowl. So for us, we might have to rely a bit more on our running back in Travis Etienne and a little bit of Sammy Perkins. But considering the last couple games haven't gone all too well running that ball, this week we focused on that run game and should see a little bit of a boost down the middle. As for the Vikings, they need J.J. McCarthy, who's having a career year, to finish with a career game. Throwing to Justin Jefferson should make it just a little bit easier. But before this Jacksonville Jaguar franchise comes to a close, we have a chance to make history. Can Coach Madison Boston bring Duval something that no NFL team can claim? A three-peat of that Super Bowl, looking to take down the Minnesota Vikings, a team with a rough history, trying to claim a Lombardi trophy. But in what appears to be some home field advantage, Raymond James Stadium, Jacksonville in Tampa Bay, playing for their Super Bowl, 3rd one in a row. As Thomas looks to return, a slight lane down the middle, taken down at the 31. Will be our final time seeing Jeff Polk take the field to kickstart a game. But hopefully, it's a good final game. As they snap that ball, it's Etienne here. Play 1. He goes left side for 6. Now, not what you want to see after the first snap is Etienne a bit slow to get up. Good news, though, he is up and back out on that field for the 2nd and 4 at the 37. They're going to go right back to him. Getting close to the first down, surfing on top of some bodies. It's 3rd and 2. But already seeing some early rotation here at that running back spot. It's Perkins checking in at the 40. Poole to help lead the way, picks up a block, and Perkins has that first down. Spearman with the tackle at the 47. We see Perkins and one of the Vikings defenders getting a little bit into it there with that first down on the NFL logo. Play action this time, rolling to the outside. Open target downfield, finding his man in Sexton down at the 15. A pop of 38 yards for Jacksonville. Polk releasing that one just before he stepped out of bounds. Down at the 15, keeping with that same look. Bringing the blitz in, throwing that one into the turf to avoid any loss of yardage. Smart play there from Polk. It's 2nd and 10. As they change up their look here, they go spread slightly wide. De Carvalho having to play the rookie with Addison out injured. Pass across the middle. That's going to be Colbert down inside the 5, marked down at the 3. Now Jacksonville just has to find a way to knock this one in. Goal line look v. goal line look as Polk barking out a couple calls there. Etienne dotting the I, cuts this one outside, and he's got the angle. Jacksonville with a dominating opening drive, getting down the field here in Tampa Bay and taking an early Super Bowl lead. Couldn't have asked for a better start offensively, but now it's up to the defense to keep it going. J.J. McCarthy, 39 touchdowns to 10 interceptions this year. And an I formation to start here for the Vikings as they too look to get outside, though Harvey cuts inside, picking up 3. Boye Oluwakin there in on the stop for the Jaguars. He's gotten the start the last, really through the playoffs. At that outside linebacker spot, blitz is brought, and the blitz hits home. Walker with Devin Lloyd. It's 3rd and 16. That's exactly where you want to put the Minnesota Vikings. With all their weapons they have, they run 3 deep at receiver, plus their tight end as well. Running back, setting up the screen here, but a good read by Hall drags him down. They only find 1 on 3rd down. A quick stop from the Jaguar D. But as we jump forward just a short bit, maybe a minute off the clock, Vikings end up getting that ball back with a penalty on the punt. A penalty comes in here on the 3rd down conversion, backing them up. So perhaps a little bit of luck going to both sides, making this a 3rd and 10 at the 35. Throw is outside, yet it converting again is going to be the Vikings. Jacksonville defense looking rather demoralized, not getting the stop there on the 3rd and very long with that penalty. Harvey looking to get outside. He breaks one, but not by Devin Lloyd and company. Do love to see the early wins from Walker, though, on the outside against Brian O'Neill, a really good right tackle. As they look to get the stretch to the outside, good flow from the linebackers and help in support from the corner, Jarian Jones with the tackle. That leaves a 3rd and 6 here for the Vikings. They come out with trips look to the right-hand side. Jefferson, slot, almost jumping off sides was Mason Smith. Check down, bump back, and short of the line to gain. Sometimes not getting the tackle does pay off. Another 4th down here for the Vikings. But they look to keep their offense on the field. With a bunch look to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Barlow, running back 2, checks in. He's really running back 3 here for this roster. Wide open is T.J. Hawkinson. The power of the bunch coming in clutch there as we reach the end of quarter 1 of your Super Bowl. 7-0 with the Vikings inside the red zone. And as we get the second quarter underway, can they tie this game up? Tight look here. McCarthy drops that ball as he looked to throw it. Diving on it is Raheem Griffey. Might have a second look here to see if this was a forward pass or if that ball went backwards nonetheless and would be a fumble. No, it is a fumble as he went to draw that back. It pops off the shoulder of Harvey, and it is recovered. Jacksonville. Polk can take the field, looking to claim a 2-score lead. That's a huge play considering we should have already had our second possession much earlier in this game. Throwing left-hand side, that's Colbert. Close to another first down. He comes up about a yard short. A little bit slow to get up on his part as well. Of course, he didn't see as heavy of a workload earlier in this season, being wide receiver 3 in a heavy tight end offense. But now, he's wide receiver 2 today. Etienne with a first down scamper. Asamoah with the tackle. If he didn't get a hand there on Etienne, who knows? He might still be running. Shifty in open space. Perkins checks in here as it's play action. Rolling, spinning, throwing. Well inside the tackle box, but I don't see a penalty down on that field. Even Polk was already saying, hey, that's my bad. But the refs say, nah, bud, you are good. 2nd and 10, hard count, no one jumps. Throwing quickly, and a well-timed hit from Asamoah breaks up that one to Sexton. An even quicker penalty. Refs call Quinn Miners with a hold. Might be a makeup call there. 2nd and 20. Split backfield here. You got Etienne, you got Perkins. Single high safety. As Polk steps up, he looks to scramble here. Cutting to the left side and picking up about the lost yardage. 3rd and 11. Already for the Vikings, we're seeing a heavy workload for Asamoah involved in a majority of these tackles. Hard count again, no one offers. A little pump there. Polk looking to step up. Tries to juke by Asamoah, but he's taken down. 4th and 4 at the 37. Frankly, I don't think it's any surprise here. We're seeing the offense stay out on the field, despite being on still their own side. Hard count, might have seen Hartwell shift there before the nose tackle jumps. No, refs don't see it. Refs instead say that Hartwell was still getting set. With his hand never touching the ground, he was able to move around and get set. Linton jumps off sides, and it's a free first down here. Under pressure, though, and unable to escape. That ball pops free. Hartwell is on top of it. 2nd and 21. As for Polk, he looked to be a little bit slow getting up after that play. But he is out there with his squad trying to win that 3rd straight Super Bowl. To the outside, no one there with the blocks coming in. Etienne does finally run into Viking company down at the opposite 30. That's a massive play for the Jaguars, who are honestly struggling to get out of their own side of the field. 1st and 10, keeping with that spread look. Trying to hand it off down the middle, but it collapses around Etienne. With a loss of 1 there on 1st, it's now at the 31 with 2nd and 11. 2 tight ends come in left-hand side. With some play action, pressure immediately builds, but getting to the outside is Polk, who will use every ounce of energy he had there to pick up something. And he very much looks gassed out there this drive as we move inside 3.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. 3rd and 8, hard count, make that 3rd and 3. Polk buys himself a little bit more time with that hard count. It makes this a little bit more manageable. At the 23, bunch look to the left-hand side. 1 to the right is De Carvalho. As they look for De Carvalho, that ball might have sailed either way, but he definitely took a shove in the crossing section of that play. Marrow perhaps getting away with that penalty there, but we were granted a couple passes this drive anyway, so we will take that field goal. Cam Little giving us a 10-0 lead here in your Super Bowl. With the defense getting a quick stop with 1:45 to go. The offense will still have another chance at some points. Starting at the 35, it's hard count and another early jump from Linton. That is his 3rd encroachment or neutral zone infraction. And I'm sure KOC is going to have a word or two for him over on the sidelines. They're definitely in the locker room at halftime. 1st and 5 as they bring that blitz. Rolling to the outside and throwing well behind, but good news, it's an edge rusher back there dropping an easy pick. You're not going to get away with too many like that, Polk. He had Thomas wide open, but threw it well behind. Rolling to the outside here. This time he has Thomas and gives him a catchable ball. Staying in bounds, though. He's going to keep that clock on rolling. Back to the line, though, quickly. Safety walking down over on the right-hand side. As they look to set up the screen to the left-hand side, Etienne to the outside, scampers out at the 26. 2 grabs for him, 55 yards. Whenever the running game, a typical running game, has not been there, They get him going in the passing game. They're looking to do that here. Two spread either side for Polk with a little pump fake under pressure, and he's going to eat the sack. Robbins gets there with a loss of 11. That's a couple times now he's won off the second-year player in Starks over at left tackle. Around 30 seconds to go here. Still not calling those timeouts, but firing across the middle. That's going to be Sexton. With a 3rd and 6, Jaguars look to go hurry up. Polk gets them set, though. Flipping the formation, a little bit more time coming off the clock here. Still not calling those timeouts. To the outside and airmailing with 2 to go. Kind of an interesting decision here from Coach Boston and not calling those timeouts. But he's got his big fella wide open, and Starks has the touchdown. Give it up to the big man. The fake field goal and a perfect throw finds Quentin Starks, your starting left tackle for the Jaguars, to close out the first half of this Super Bowl 17-0 on top of the Minnesota Vikings. But that is your halftime break there. A dominant way to close out that half. And the defense once again shutting down an offense full of talent. J.J. McCarthy not exactly finding those big plays. Haven't seen much of anything from Justin Jefferson, and every time the defense for the Vikings thinks they get a stop, turns out they don't. But as we get into the second half of play here, a couple minutes in, this is following 2 20-yard grabs for Justin Jefferson. Has the Vikings plus side. Harvey looks to get outside, but taken down. Hammers in the slot corner, makes the play. And it's 2nd and 10 with no gain. I formation here, though, for the Minnesota Vikings as they look to go back to the run game. Hall with the quick fill. Keeps it just a gain of 2. For the Vikings, this is a down. They know they have to convert, or honestly might even have to go for it on 4th if it is around 3 to 4 yards to go. McCarthy downfield. And jarred free Emerson. He had his guy, but he could not squeeze it. Webster drops it, and he's the reason that they actually traded Jordan Addison to Jacksonville. They really thought highly of him and knew they didn't need all these receivers. Vikings, though, break the goose egg as Douglas from the right hash hits that field goal. For the Vikings, if they're to find their way back into this one, they need their defense to pick up stops. And we just completed a 3rd and 8 with about a 35-yard catch to Thomas. So we'll jump right on out here as ETN fights down the middle, picking up a gain of 6. You've got to wonder with how slow he's been getting up after these runs, if it's just the wear and tear of the season or if his age is getting to him. Could this have been the final year for ETN? We'll never know. Rolling to the outside, it's to ETN and broken up. Had the pass underneath, but look to go downfield. With a penalty, we'll still take that first down. Good news, though, from Linton. It was not on him. It was David Ojabo. So a 1st and 10 at the 24. I form here for ETN. Looking for that cut lane. He has one. A little bit slow to hit it, but a penalty does come down, which will negate this run. Quinn Miners called with his second holding of the game, and it's now 1st and 19 at the 33. Empty set here for Polk. A little pump fake. Dancing around back there, has an open target across the middle, but through the hands now of Thomas. 2nd and 19, Elam breaks it up. So both top-end receivers for both teams dropping that pass that could have had them the play they were looking for. Now Hartwell, to me, definitely looked to jump off sides here early, and this time they will get him. He got away with one earlier this game. Sets up a 2nd and now 24. With 2 deep safeties off coverage on the outside. The wide open on the outside is Thomas. Keeping him in bounds and getting down to about the 8-yard line is Polk. 201 through the air, but does have 1 turnover today. I'm sure he would like to find a touchdown to even that up. For the 1st and goal, they mark him down at the 9. It's ETN down the middle. Ball is free, and it just happens to roll straight into Bard's hands. It's Viking football inside the 10. A rare turnover here for Travis Etienne. but it is almost as if he ran into a brick wall. Inside a minute to go in the third quarter, it's Viking ball at about the 5-yard line. Pressure, JJ bounces outside. He's got a bunch of grass and slides down safely. Smart play there from McCarthy. But they have to find the end zone on this drive to keep this game close before we hit the fourth quarter. Jaguars bring that blitz. JJ, though, escapes, throws downfield. He finds Webster, who dropped it last time, but this time he's got speed, and he will have that touchdown. Vikings needed it. Vikings got it. A one-score game as McCarthy escapes Rakeem Griffey, who had a clean release on the edge. That'll go basically as a 14-point swing, as the Jaguars nearly had a touchdown of their own. Vikings instead find it off the turnover. Looking to get back to the air here, throwing outside. A beautifully lofted ball has Thomas. Already to the midfield line are the Jaguars. That ends an action-packed end of the third quarter in a 17-10, now close ball game here. Vikings definitely won that third quarter. Jacksonville need to respond to close this game out. The good news is they already found Thomas with that big hitter closing out the third. So as we get the fourth underway, it's plus side at the 49. ETN with the spin move. He gets by one, but I think this one is coming back. A great run from the vet running back. However, a hold on the offensive line. And arguably the worst part about it came from Luke Bacon on the opposite side of the play. Maybe wouldn't have even affected the true outcome of that play. Passing across the middle here, we'll find Colbert pointing out one of the Vikings defenders as he gets that grab. It's 2nd and 7 as they get everyone set back up here. Bunch stays to the right-hand side. It's quarterback draw. Polk takes a big hit as he tries the stiff arm. Viking defender there not taking any of that disrespect. 3rd and 5 here, Jaguar. With a hard count, no one fully gives it up. Rolling, throwing, Sexton at about the line to gain. He does have it. Asamoah not able to get the stop in time. Jaguars go hurry up here, making sure there's no challenge to it. Pressure comes in, rolling to the left, throwing to his left and finding Colbert. It's a first down at the 28. He's still looking for his first passing touchdown of this game. Bringing out the I for him here, it's 1st and 10. ETN right down the middle. He outruns Poole. Could have been a lead blocker for him. Down to the 15. Nice steady drive here for the Jaguars. As they go a little RPO, flip it to the outside. Sexton gonna pick up 5 more. Now, of course, a rare play here for the Jaguars. Not too many calls or read options. 2nd and 5. They snap that ball. 2 seconds to go on the play clock. Polk, he's gonna leak out. Hope to get the block there from his receiver cutting in. Asamoah lays him down. But it has the Jaguars with a fresh set. Goal to go at the 5. Bunch look to the right-hand side with a hard count. Not a free play, though arguably could have been. Looking for a high point. Broken up to Thomas. Safer to throw that one high than low. A little bit of congestion after the play even has Thomas flopping around. 2nd and goal. ETN. Next to Polk, he takes that handoff. He has a lane. He slips one. He's down to the 1. Vikings trying to make this one difficult here to earn as we're around 3 minutes to go. I for him and ETN at fullback. He takes the handoff quick with it and has one more touchdown before this series comes to an end. It's a 2-score lead back in favor for Jacksonville, as they move the vet running back just a little bit closer and on the shorter side, able to hide behind that line. That puts pressure here on the Vikings offense. Plenty of talent to find their way quickly down the field with about 3 minutes to go. It's across the middle. They find Webster. 108 yards for him, most of that coming off that touchdown before the third quarter came to a close. JJ looks to escape, but just throws this one away. Walker gives him a little shoulder check. That leaves a 3rd down. The Vikings need 3. Tight under center set. And a quicker throw there from JJ has Webster for the first down. Going hurry up here. Pass across the middle. That's T-Hawk. Ripped down there by Yancey to the 34. And they're going to keep with Hurry up until the 2-minute warning hits there, a free timeout for both sides. The Vikings, they need 2 touchdowns, and they have 2 minutes to do it to try to tie this game and bring us into some extra football. Quick throw. Hawk holds on. Devin Lloyd, close in coverage there, just not quite close enough. Back outside is Webster as he avoids a big hit there at the sideline, getting out of the 17. We're seeing the Vikings very much change up the game plan. They're going quick hitters here. Doesn't matter if they pick up a lot or just a few, as long as they're picking up something every play. But underthrown, it's gonna be picked off. Campbell picking up an extra 2 yards or so after he gets up. That should be the nail here in the Minnesota Vikings, losing yet another Super Bowl. Their rough stretch for the Lombardi looks to continue, but starting inside the 5. A long field here, a minute and a half to drain. Vikings could look to get a quick stop. It's Perkins right side. He's got 4, and a timeout coming here from the Vikings. Basically a first down seals this game for the Jaguars. Still up 2 scores, though. You got to feel like it's pretty close to that point. Perkins with a bunch of space. He's running down the numbers. Elam catches up to him. But that is your ball game. For the final time, we will look to snap this ball. Jeff Polk to kneel us into Super Bowl NFL history. Jacksonville, in their own home state, wins that Super Bowl and three-peats against the Minnesota Vikings, 24-10. Etienne with a pair of touchdowns in that one. He was our main man when this series started, and he stayed strong throughout. Jeff Polk came in as a rookie, won a Super Bowl, and has not played a season where he did not win a Super Bowl. And Madison Boston, while it was a rough stretch for him as a player to find that Lombardi, he found one there. He finds 3 more, adding to his legacy. And of course, can't forget, before half, we got a big boy touchdown. Quentin Starks on the fake field goal. We sprinkled everything in here we could. Dominant performance coming from the defense in every single game. But that is your Jacksonville Jaguars series. Good news for you, you do not have to wait long until we start our next series on Madden 26, where we will be live streaming tomorrow. Talked about before doing like a spring game, playing against ourselves, and then I remembered, hey, this is the NFL. You have preseason games. So we will do some preseason game live streams both tomorrow as well as on Friday. And we'll get back to what is going to be the new normal schedule rolling forward. College football will stay Monday and Friday, but we will be changing up football and baseball mix. Madden will be Tuesday and Thursday, and we are going to have a new series taking place in MLB with still Cha-Cha Vaz. You're going to have to stay tuned to make sure you see how we keep that into the fold by hitting that bear icon in the bottom right corner of your screen, or scrolling on down, finding that sub button, clicking that, and making sure you also click that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. But before we completely round things out here in this series, let's just take a look at the final year stats and perhaps a couple other things as well. For Jeff Polk, he finishes only in counting the regular season here. I wish it counted postseason stats as well. But Jeff Polk, little shy of 3,200 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 66% complete. It wasn't his strongest year passing, but it was most definitely his strongest year running. 5.5 yards for him, 11 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Etienne averaged 5 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns, almost a touchdown a game. He also finished with just over 1,200 yards. We did not see as much of Perkins this year as I would have liked. Etienne just stayed healthy and played well throughout, so we really didn't ever have that need to fold in that second running back. Receiving wise, Brian Thomas Jr., 825, Jordan Addison, 815. Both of them finish with 6 receiving touchdowns. Colbert, not a bad year by any means for that number 3 guy. 600 yards for him pretty much, 3 touchdowns. Sexton, 330, 12. He was mostly healthy, played in 14 games this year. For the offensive line, it was clean. The first-year starter in Quentin Starks gave up the most amount of sacks with 8. I wish it counted pressures or quarterback hits. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Defensively, Devin Lloyd, triple-digit tackler this year. Hall, a pretty good step back from Devin Lloyd. He was flying around this year. TFL leader is Junior Alford, with Walker just 1 behind. 13 for Mason Smith, 10 for Hakeem Griffey. As a unit, they dominated up front this year. 12 sacks for Junior Alford, actually led the team. Walker found a lot, though, in the postseason. 10 for him, not counting those postseason sacks. 8 sacks for Mason Smith, 4.5 for Griffey, and then a few more down the line. Interception leader is Devin Lloyd with 5. Campbell had 3, 2 for Emerson, Jones, Shepard, and 1 for Lamar Gray. We also forced a few amount of fumbles this year in 5. Of those 5, we recovered 3. And we only had 2 defensive touchdowns this year. 1 for Shepard, 1 for Jerry and Jones. The one for Shepard was a 100-yard pick 6. And lastly, Cam Little here went 17 of 20 on his field goals, but 50 of 50 on his free extra point. As for your legacy leaderboard, Coach Madison Boston is ranked 4th, so it looks like he will be well on his way to being a Hall of Fame potential player as well as coach. Now, while Polk still has a long career in front of him, he finishes this series 14th ranked of all quarterbacks. Travis Etienne finishes just about 800 legacy points behind Christian McCaffrey, putting him 2nd here in running backs. Quinn Miners, he finishes 4th when it comes to centers. Might have been a little different if we never moved his position, but we'll keep him there at center. Rayshawn Hartwell, a little bit of a surprise. He finishes 5th on the legacy board. And Trayvon Walker also finishes 4th as well for left ends. Junior Alford on the board here for the DTs at 14, only playing really this last year at DT. Before that, listed right end. But sharing that 14th spot is going to be Hakeem Griffey for those right ends. Now, I think perhaps a little bit of some disrespect is coming here for Devin Lloyd, only 12th for middle linebackers. But a long-time guy in this series, Josh Hines-Allen, he finishes 2nd here at right outside linebacker. We had him every year but this last season. And for Cole Hull, being a true off-ball linebacker, finishing 4th here in right outside linebackers, that is pretty substantial. And for Tyson Campbell, he finishes at 17th for all cornerbacks. Andre Sisco, another guy that was with us for a long time every year, but this final season, he finishes 9th at free safety. But Terrence Yancey, he finishes 7th for the strong safeties. He might have been one of our better surprise picks of this series, but we had quite a few of them. We won't forget about Cam Little either. He finishes 5th in kicker legacy. But we also have a couple guys to shout out when it comes to the record book. Travis Etienne Jr. has the most rushing touchdowns in a Jacksonville Jaguar career. And as for Josh Hines-Allen, he finishes with the most career sacks. When it comes to season play, Travis Etienne Jr. also this season broke the record for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the most rushing touchdowns. When it comes to individual games, Jeff Polk set the Jaguars' passing yards record with 480. I think that was the game, Week 15 against the Vikings. And he's going to have a clean sweep when it comes to rookie season for quarterbacks here. The Jacksonville Jaguars winning the Super Bowl his rookie year. He passed for 3,848 yards and had 27 passing touchdowns. Now, when it comes to individual rookie games, Polk again sweeping with 446 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns. But also down at the bottom, Terrence Yancey with 2 interceptions led the group there. Surprisingly, though, he did not lead when it came to interceptions. I think he was about 1, maybe 2 short of that for rookie season picks. But we came a long way in this series. Coach Boston finishes with 65 wins to 20 losses, not a single tie, a win percentage of 76.5%. He had 4 winning seasons. Honestly, I don't remember a season that we didn't have a winning season. He had 11 playoff wins, only 2 playoff losses, a winning percentage in the playoffs of near 85%, 3 Super Bowl wins, never dropped a Super Bowl. And overall, we saw a large overhaul of this roster, though a lot of key pieces were there. Jeff Polk, a draftee of ours, finishes with morale boost, a 99 overall. Travis Etienne finishes 97. We drafted Perkins as well as Levi Brown, a great running back group there. Receiver-wise, Thomas was here. We traded for Addison. We signed, I think, UDFA, Kurt Colbert, and he turned into a pretty solid receiver. Couple rookies rounding out that group. Maxwell Sexton was our first overall pick in this whole series. And while he struggled with injuries that definitely lessened his career, he was an impact player. He finishes at 90. We drafted Poole, Culver, and Madison Turner, a great fullback for us. Wish we got to see a little bit more of him to close out. He was injured. Drafted Starks. We traded for Akeem Aquanu. Traded, I believe, as well for Quinn Miners. Moved him to center. Drafted Hartwell. Drafted Luke Bacon. Getting to the defensive side, Walker was here. He too finishes a 99 overall. Right end-wise, Rakeem Griffey, another draftee of ours, finishes in that 90 range. DTs, Mason Smith was here. We drafted Junior Alford. Getting to the linebackers, we did draft Dylan Bullitt. Devin Lloyd was here, so was Foye Alukin, and while he left for a couple of years, he finishes with the team. And wrapping out the linebackers, we did draft Cole Hall as well. He too finishes in the 90 range. Cornerbacks, Tyson Campbell was here. Jarian Jones was here. We developed him quite a bit. We drafted Amerson. We traded for Rashad Shepard. And we drafted Terrence Yancey, also finishing in the 90 overalls. And of course, not forgetting, Cam Little was here since the beginning. We did sign, or maybe even draft, Matt Tobias, but frankly, we didn't have to see a whole lot of him. But this was a fun series, and I will look to continue our next series in a similar fashion to how we had this going. Getting through the years a little bit quicker will not be like college football where we play individual games. Though even with college football, I might toy with a couple being multi-game episodes just to make sure we got a good flow going and we can get deep into the future. I would like to get a little bit deeper into our next Madden series, which is why I want those multi-game episodes. Probably aiming for around 3 to 4. If it's a really big game, we might do individuals, especially with us moving now to 2 days a week. Make sure you leave your Jacksonville Jaguars some final bit of love by smashing that thumbs up button. We've come a long way in this series. We've had a lot of great players. Let me know your favorites down in the comments section below and make sure you're here as we kickstart a new journey tomorrow.